let's actually roll that whole line like an athlete. And that's where I believe you can get the amazing performance effect and feel loose and free and have the flow that you want as a hockey player.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great segue, Arysta. Would you be able to show us a few travel roller moves for hockey players? I know for myself, I suffered from tight groin, usually tight lower back, and then usually neck and shoulder pain for myself and the athletes I train.
Yeah, so I think the top 3 or maybe 4 things that I would work on is, one is, let's work on a few fascial lines. I'll give you guys a taste. Okay, so the first one is the superficial back line. So the back line is connected from your foot, your feet are in skates a lot. Okay, so you're gonna work your bottom of your feet. So you have a lacrosse ball or a hard ball, rolling the bottom of the feet. And what we're trying to do, we're gonna do foot and calf, because we're gonna try to create more shin angle, because this is a really important to be able to be flexible in shin angle, right? So you're gonna wanna roll the bottom of your foot and get that fascial line. Your feet are in skates all the time, so the arch in there. And so you're going to want to roll both sides of the feet, and then you're going to want to you need a firm foam roller. Obviously, I recommend the travel roller because it gets deep, it's very firm, it's minimal foam, or else you're not going to be able to get into those dense packed connective tissue like I talked. Okay, so as we're rolling, so we're going to roll side to side. So this is how we roll method. And so there's the science of fascia, which is actually, if you want to release the fascia tissues, you don't actually do this, because this does nothing. This is just compression back and forth. What you want to do is get those sliding surfaces, the top layers and the bottom layers, to slide, okay? And so that's how you release and create blood flow and repair in those areas. So you're going to want to go side to side. So the travel roller is really grippy, it grabs the skin. So that is the difference, and that's why we created it. So it's a fascial release, kind of like I'm a skilled therapist would go into your calf and they would massage it. So you're trying to mimic that of a skilled therapist at home at night after your training session, and that's how you're going to get the effect, right? So you're going to go in here, and then you're going to add a limb on top to make it really firm, and you can feel those knots and the adhesions, and you're going to want to work like thoroughly all the way from the calves all the way in here. And so this is affecting the back line, and the back line wraps all the way through the hamstrings, the glutes, and down to the back of the neck. So if you're having tension in your upper traps, it might be connected to your calves. Okay, so if we want more release here, let's roll here first. And I believe like having a well-balanced body is really important. So you're gonna roll through the calves, and then that would be a really awesome one. If you want to get even deeper, you'll use a small ball in there. All right, so that was the first one. Second one is, again, hockey and all sports are quad dominant. I was a skier, tennis player, so I had this quad dominance problem all the time, and that creates a low back problem for me because quads and hip flexors and psoas are tight and they're loaded all the time. So if you're trying to get power through your skating and your hips and your glutes by pushing back, then if this is too tight, it's going to be really hard to activate this area here. So what you're going to want to do is take your travel roller in your quads and hip flexors, and it's really small, so you can get really deep. Okay, so again, we're doing the shearing side to side into there, and then hip flexors as well. So I like to do, like, as I'm doing it, I do like an upward dog and breathe, and you get that fascial line stretch. And so you go and you really get into the hip flexors where it's really tight, and then again in here. And I'm pretty flexible now, and so I can do a little stretch in here too as I'm rolling. So if you really want to get that change in that pelvis, you got to work a lot in here. And what's cool about the travel roller, it actually, if you want to make it harder, a lot of, I guess, hockey players or elite athletes, they do roll in pipes, and you can actually go into a harder layer. So if it's not hard enough for you, it actually has an inner sleeve like that. So now I'm at 4.3 inches in diameter. Now this is 3.8 inches. And so now because if you have a lot of muscle, it's hard to get in there, right? And so this was designed by athletes who have muscle. And there you go. And now you're like, oh, okay, now I'm going to sink into it. And this is how you actually have to relax your nervous system, where you just like, before you go to bed, you're just like really allowing your brain to say, hey, I'm gonna just really relax. Because if we're rolling and we're like hyped up, it's not good. So we call this regeneration. Okay, so right before you go to bed, put in 10 minutes a day. Maybe pick a different body part, right? All right, so the next exercise, use a different roller, I would say would be adductors, right? So inner thigh, you said groin. So in here, so you're gonna position again in the tripod position, and then you're gonna put the roller right in the groin this way. Okay, so you're gonna put it all the way towards the knee, and then towards the hip, and again, still doing that shearing side to side, and then really relaxing into it. And you can rotate like this, get some rotation, and you can really, really feel in the groin in there. So those would be 3 lower body things that you should do. And what's cool about the adductor is it's actually connected to your myofascial core. So this is like an advanced technique. And so the myofascial core is like connects all the way towards your spine and your neck. And so it's really amazing to go into these different lines. So this is like a myofascial core. We did the front line. Okay, so you work the front chain, and I showed you the back chain. Okay, and so that should give you a lot of relief in the hip position, right? So that you can strengthen your core and your glutes and become more balanced. And if you do want to do your upper back, obviously travel for everyone. It feels amazing in the upper back for a thoracic extension. So you're going to want to just, really open up the fascia.
Well, that looks like it feels good.
Oh, it feels good for everyone. So you can do the upper back thoracic extension, and then obviously get the balls in your upper trap. There's a lot of wall rolling things you can do. So you're going to want to get in there.
Is there any particular breathing pattern you use, Arysta?
Well, I actually just, and I'm not filming, I'm breathing a little bit better, but when I'm doing it, I just do it at night. I really just deep breaths in through my nose, out through my nose, just slow it down, and then just allow myself, my inner self to release, let go. I think that's the biggest thing is like, there's a mind-muscle connection, there is your heart connection, and it's putting your intention. So that's the biggest thing is you say, I'm going to relax this, but I'm also physically getting a physiological effect. So this is where that magic happens, where you allow yourself to like, whew, let's go, right? Yeah.
I notice when I play, when my body's tight, my thinking strategy is diminished. When my body's relaxed, I'm able to figure out problem solution very quickly. So that's related to the fascia.
The flow state, right?
Yes.
And that's the thing about people when they're foam rolling. It's just like playing a new sport, right? There's going to be a lot of learning at the very beginning. Like, I don't know how to position my body, don't know how, like, I'm not talking about an elite athlete who already knows this stuff, but I'm just an average person who doesn't know how to get into these positions and use it very dynamically. And then there's going to be a point where like, oh, this is like second nature to me. This is my self-care routine and I feel good. And then I'm allowing myself, because I have the skills to do this. I know what to do with my body. I'm in tune with what I need, not what someone else needs, right? I think that's the thing is like, what does your body need? What are your compensation patterns? Maybe you were in a little car accident or you did something and you're more dominant in one way. So you just kind of have to figure out your body and do what works good for you, for your own self-care.
So using this will help us get into a flow state during sports?
I believe it can, yes. Yes, it definitely can, because if fascia is your interconnected webbing, it actually, there's so much research we haven't even tapped into. It is a network of intelligence of your body. So it gives signals. So if it is relaxed and free and there's the electricity is able to move through it without scar tissue or injuries, then you're going to be able to be in flow, right? Where it's like you feel like you're in that flow, but you're not loose. You're able to receive a lot more power. So that's the thing, is it removes muscle inhibition, but then it also, you're allowed to activate more muscle recruitment as well, because you're removing that tightness, you're actually able to get more power. Yeah.
All about the fascia.
Cool.
I should have listened to you 14 years ago. I've had this for 14 years. I didn't know you could take the sleeve off.
Oh, there you go. So it's, again, some athletes want to make it harder, or again, for washing purposes or travel purposes, you can just throw your pressure point balls inside and cinch it up, and there you go.
That's cool. And it's cool because you can carry the pressure point balls inside here, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you can put it in your hockey bag and you just have it there ready to roll. Yeah.
Now, this was interesting. I remember when you told me, I was like, well, what about the rumble roller? Yeah. And you said it's the fascia, it's too extreme for the fascia. Yeah. And they made the rumble roller because it hurts, but I don't think it has to hurt to work. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, I personally don't ever use any other product. I've tried rumble roller and other pokey rollers. I believe, and I know that the broad pressure, from what I know from the science of fascia, from what I've observed from high performance athletes, what we're trying to do is mimic the hands of a skilled therapist.
Right.
So that is what, so any pressure points, again, we're trying to get like the whole fascia to slide, right? And so for me, pressure points just don't do it. I use the balls for a pressure point.
Too aggressive.
It's too aggressive. And so you want, again, it's the gripping, okay? So this is something that none of those other rollers can get, and it grabs the skin. So there is something about you grabbing the skin and then applying compression so that you're going to get that fascial glide. So this is why it's a therapeutic myofascial device tool over any other roller, and we're the original, and we're Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had this for 14 years, and I should have used it more, but I have used it quite a bit, and my son uses it, and it's still like it's brand new. It's great, great product.
Well, and it's also eco-friendly. So I changed the design from the factory, so it is eco-friendly, so it doesn't have any toxins. So rubber and phthalates and things like that could absorb to your skin and make you tighter. Yeah. So it's all made of PPE. It's high quality eco foam as well.
Oh, okay. Because I know we absorb things through our skin. Yeah.
So
some of those stinky yoga mats
make it good. That's why it's good for kids to even have it in your home and stuff. And you only need one tool. I think that's the thing is, the industry has gotten crazy with rollers and balls and this and that. Is like, honestly, I've only used this tool and a ball my whole life, every day. It's the consistency. If you can put in that consistent effort and feel deeper, go within, and be more scientific in the fascial lines, that's where you're going to get that effect, right? If you're doing a lot of volume, then what's your recovery look like, right?
Yes.
Your fascia, if your body is tight, stretching is not going to cut it. Like, you can stretch all you want in here, but you're not addressing your fascial system. That is the ticket to, that's the secret sauce right there.
It is. It's all about the fascia. Hey, Arysta, you were awesome. Like, I'm pumped. I'm going to go roll. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go ground.
Yeah. So I have actually, like, if you guys want to learn more information, I actually developed a new app just not so long ago. And there's a free section. It's this is how you roll section. And it's all free. So if you want to learn every single body part, it's free. And then I have a bunch of courses, like a 14-day reset, that I take you through all the fascial lines. So if you want to go deeper with me and actually do those deeper meditations, I have courses that you can learn and roll with me. Yeah.
So the app is called what?
It's just on. If you go to travelroller.com, you can click on the link where it says "Get the app."
Okay.
Yeah, it's a linked app. You won't find it on the App Store, but you'll find it on travelroller.com or my link in my bio.
Okay. Yeah. So travelroller.com. These are awesome. Yeah. Go follow Arysta on her Instagram.
Thank
you. That was a pleasure. Thank you.
No, thank you guys. I hope you guys stay healthy, and just remember, like, I think hockey and all sports for your kids is like it's a long-term journey, right? And I know that nobody told me as a kid how to recover, how to take care of my body, and how, as a kid, I can take care of my own self-care, and that's important. And so I think that's the message that I want to share with other athletes is, like, empower them to take care of their own body because they're going to need it. When they're just a teenager, when they have muscles and hormones, they are going to need to roll. Yeah.
Oh, I got chills, Arysta. You're awesome.
Thank you. You too, Ryan.
All right. We'll stay in touch and all the best.
Okay, thank you guys. I hope you guys learned stuff. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.